I'm really shocked that the cops are like unashamed of stalking me, and they think that I think that it's like coming from other people, not the police. And they keep thinking that like I trust them and I believe them and I go by everything that they're telling me because I believe the cops are the leaders of the world. And I'm like, yeah, I don't think that way. I mean, they work minimum wage. Basically, it's very entry level positions, low end jobs, very low tier, and they're not very well liked by most people in the neighborhood or the community. And the reason why they think this is because they think that I want to be a police officer, and they think that I'm working to get their approval prior to me applying to be a police officer after going to police academy so that I can be a police officer and work for the city. And I'm like, I don't know why they think this. Like, this is completely, like, they made this, all this scenario up in their heads and they believe it to be true. I've never told them that I wanted to be a police officer. I never applied for police officer academy thingies. I've never even set foot in any of the departments otherwise, apart from actually filing a report that had an incident related to me. So I have no idea why they think I want to be a cop. I know Nikita was saying that for a long time that he thinks that I'm a cop. And I've been telling him that I'm not a police officer. I don't know why you think that way. But that's what he believed in. I wasn't gonna go ahead and like try to like change his mind or whatever or correct his language. I mean, if that's how he wants to speak, then let him speak that way. I'm not gonna like tutor him on proper grammar and English pronunciation. Like, not only am I not qualified, but like he would have to pay me for that. So I'm just like, yeah, I would make a salary off of that service, and if he's not gonna pay me a salary, then what the fuck would I do anything for him? You know what I mean? Like, people act like money is not important, but I'm like, would you still go to your job if they stop paying you? The answer is a hell fucking no. Like, who would? Nobody would show up to work if they don't pay them. And I'm like, why would I personally do anything for you? Like, you're not even my friend, and you think that like I want you to have a good life, whereas I'm like too focused on making sure that I'm okay. Anyways, I digress. The police actually believe this. They think that I want to be a cop and I want to be like a member of the police force, and they are like stalking me and telling me they know every little detail of my life, and I'm like, this is kind of why I'm staying away from the cops. Like, the reason being is because they're intruding on my life and they're interfering with my ability to live a healthy and normal life. And their reasoning is that they believe me to be a dangerous individual and they think I'm a cockroach and I need to be squashed and get rid of. And I'm like, that's completely insane and delusional, and there's no evidence for it. In fact, I'm actually quite the opposite of what they're insinuating of me, which makes me think that that's what they're like, you know? And I have no idea why they think that way about me. I'm not actually personally affiliated with any member of the police or the law enforcement. I'm not friends with any of them. I'm not sleeping with any of them. I'm not married to any of them. I'm not dating any of them. But they believe that like I consider them to be a valuable member of my life. And this is the part where I don't understand it, because I don't consider them to be valuable members of society. I think police are very unnecessary, and in fact, I think they're draining on the budget of the city. You know, like, they don't provide any service from what I've seen that is necessary or even beneficial. And I think it's very important to reduce any amount of budget and deficiencies as they can, so they can actually have a service that they can consider to be beneficial to the city and its residents. Right? It's to me, I'm just like, people don't need the police. People really don't. And like, honestly, the street outreach team actually stole my stuff and they're refusing to return it solely on the basis that they don't like the fact that I told them to stop harassing me. I mean, what kind of crazy logic is that? It's like, oh, you're bothering me. I'm telling you to stop bothering me. It would have bothered anybody. And they're telling me that I took something away from them personally so they can take my things in return. Yeah, they're insane. Anyways, this is kind of why I like stay away. Like, you know what? I don't even want to bother. Like, I'm not dealing with that shit. And I'm not dealing with any of it. And they keep insinuating that I'm a drug dealer and I should be able to deal with this kind of stuff. And I'm like, number one, drug dealers don't do that. And number two, I'm not gonna deal with any of it. Like, I'm not a, like, freaking, I don't work at a casino. You know, like, I'm not like a freaking card dealer and I'm just gonna hand out, like, whatever. It was like, yeah, it's really, 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 like, I don't know, it's like shocking for me to witness, where they're like, we know you, and we know how you think, and we know what your doctors did, and we know everything about you, and we're gonna, like, you're gonna fall in love with us, and you're gonna be part of us, but we're gonna treat you inhumanely, and you're gonna be our dog. And I'm like, they've been doing that. They think it's okay to treat people this way, and they think that, like, I didn't notice it, and they think that, like, oh, no one else is gonna notice it. And I don't know what to tell them, like, because they're the problem in the city, right? And I get that they're residents and, like, they haven't done anything enough to, like, get their citizenship revoked. They have at this point. Prior to this, they actually haven't done anything to get their citizenship revoked. I mean, I'm pretty sure they've said and done a couple of questionable things here and there. It wasn't enough to be like, yeah, your citizenship's revoked. But, like, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, like, what am I supposed to do, really? Really? Like, I'm not the mayor of the city. I'm not their, like, higher up in their work or anything. Like, I'm not the department supervisor or anything like that, so I can't, like, I don't have direct authority over that kind of stuff, and I'm definitely not gonna, like, try to get into a direct authority position to clean up the department or clean up the city. I'm like, I don't fucking care. Literally, I'm starving. I keep getting my stuff stolen. Like, people are literally trying to rob me left and right. Like, I can't even sleep properly because there's so many people threatening me, and there's a lot of psychotic people around me for whatever reason. Some of them have mental health problems, some of them have drug addictions, all that kind of stuff. I mean, I don't have time to do that, and, like, my energy is focused on making sure that I'm okay. It's not focused on making sure everyone around me is gonna be okay too, because I need to make sure that I'm okay. I'm not currently in an okay situation. I may be okay, but, like, everything around me is not okay, and it's gonna affect me sooner or later, which is why I personally can't work for other people. Like, I can't go and, like, make sure everyone else is doing okay. I can't make sure that everyone else is gonna be, like, being cleaned up or whatever. Like, that's not really my goal in life currently due to my situation. I need housing, I need food, I need, like, stable finances. All that kind of stuff has nothing to do with me working for the city. Plus, I've given up hope for the city a long time ago, right? And honestly, the people who stole from me weren't people who were broke and looking for money and jobs on the streets. There were people who already had money, had family and friends here, who didn't need to steal from me, but they did so out of ill intentions and because they just personally felt like they had to have something of mine to hold over me in order to get direct authority over me. Yeah, it was kind of racist. By kind of, I mean, it was really racist, and they didn't understand it. Like, the feelings that they had was rooted in deep, deep racial prejudice, which has been bred into them for a very long time. It has been a problem in the United States for a very long time. It's been reported over and over again. I mean, people try to avoid that kind of stuff and avoid those subjects just in general because it causes problems in the workplace, it causes problems with family members, and it gets hard to get along with your community and your neighbors. And honestly, like, less stress for everyone else is always, like, a bonus, right? But yeah, I mean, they think that I'm gonna, like, try to work for the city and get a job in the government and, like, try to, like, make the world a better place that way. And I'm like, no, I'm gonna get the fuck out of this country because it's a fucking shithole and I fucking hate living here, right? And I'm like, this place sucks. there's nothing good about this city, and there's nothing here that isn't already present in any other city in the entire world. Right? Like, any country has whatever this country has, and I don't understand why I should stay here after what they've done to me, after them, like, refusing access to services that I'm entitled to, and I am going to be treated better in another country as a refugee than I am here as a legal citizen because they're racist. I mean, like, honestly, like, I just don't understand it personally, why they think that I would stay and work for them after treating me like that. Who would think that way?